Hello, and welcome to the Minnesota Pollution Control Agency's public information session about the Clean Cars Minnesota rulemaking. I'm Laura Bishop, MPCA Commissioner. Adopting clean car emission standards is critical in our work to protect against climate change, which is happening here and now with devastating effects seen and felt across our great state. The clean car standards have two goals. The first is to reduce greenhouse gas emissions, which is the leading cause of climate change. The second goal is to provide Minnesotans with more choices when purchasing cleaner electric and hybrid vehicles. Transportation is currently the largest source of greenhouse gas emissions in Minnesota, and light and medium duty vehicles, meaning the cars, trucks, and SUVs we drive each day, produce more than half of all transportation emissions in Minnesota. To address climate change, Minnesota has set ambitious goals for reducing greenhouse gas emissions. Our goals are outlined in the Next Generation Energy Act, passed with bipartisan support in the Minnesota legislature and signed into law by Governor Tim Pawlenty in 2007. The act requires the state to reduce greenhouse gas emissions by 15% by 2015, 30% by 2025, and 80% by 2050, all from a 2005 baseline. But so far, Minnesota is way off track. Emissions have only decreased by 8% overall since 2005. That means we missed our target in 2015, and at this rate, Minnesota is not on track to meet future goals either. In fact, data from recent years shows we're heading in the wrong direction, and emissions will continue to increase unless we take immediate action. We began the Clean Cars Minnesota effort in September 2019. Governor Tim Walz urged the agency to take action beyond federal vehicle emission standards and adopt the clean car standards that are used by more than a dozen states across the country, including Colorado, Maine, and Washington. Also in 2019, state agencies, including MPCA and the Minnesota Department of Transportation, had just wrapped up a major study of how to reduce emissions from transportation. According to public input gathered for the Pathways to Decarbonizing Transportation report, Minnesotans want and expect action from state leaders for cleaner, lower carbon transportation options, including adopting clean car standards. The proposed rule would allow Minnesota to adopt two vehicle emission standards that only apply to new vehicles for sale in our state. It would ensure Minnesotans who are shopping for a new vehicle will continue to have access to the cleanest cars, trucks, and SUVs available, and more electric vehicles to choose from. But this is just one part of a larger integrated strategy to build a cleaner, lower carbon transportation system here in Minnesota. To successfully reduce emissions, our state needs a multi-pronged approach that also includes building the necessary infrastructure for EVs, which means more charging stations around the state, supporting biofuels and other cleaner fuels, community efforts to reduce emissions, like investing in transit and making biking and walking safer and more accessible. The MPCA is also leading work to address these other things. We are funding projects to build out the EV charging network across Minnesota. And another project is to replace old diesel-burning school buses with electric models, which will reduce harmful emissions and protect students from pollution. Adopting the Clean Cars Minnesota rule is a practical strategy for reducing emissions and an important step to protect our communities, improve air quality, and support a healthy climate. I encourage you to visit our website to learn more about the proposed rule. Just go online and search Clean Cars Minnesota. Thank you for your interest in this rulemaking.